Welcome to Naked, a speaking series I'll be doing covering various topics, being vulnerable with you all. Now, the idea behind this is not to get physically naked, but to be vulnerable with you all in an attempt that this video will inspire someone or help someone to either seek the help that they think they need or to just realize that you're not the only person struggling with this, to realize that you're not alone. I got the idea from a friend of mine, the video we played a couple of years ago where we got naked with each other. We were able to be vulnerable and be our complete selves with this other person, and it was very therapeutic. So I'm hoping that in sharing this, that it will be not only therapeutic for me, but again, it will inspire someone else to know that you don't have to be ashamed of what you're going through. You're not the only person out there struggling with something, and there is help if you need it. The first video, or the one I'll be covering today, is alcohol. I'm going to cover my struggles with alcohol. I started drinking when I got to college, so for some people it may be considered fairly late, and I've always been a social drinker. I'm a people person. I am the definition of an extrovert. Anybody that knows me knows I love to be around people. I love to be in the company of people, and I love to have a good time and keep the party going. So I just love to make people feel comfortable and make them have a good time. So I do like to party. I am a social drinker in every sense of the word. I don't really drink at home. I don't really drink by myself at home, if that makes sense. I can drink by myself when I go to the bar, but that's also because I do enjoy my own company. My struggles with alcohol maybe started recently. I was drinking to mask a pain that I was feeling. Again, I don't drink when I'm angry. I don't drink when I'm upset. I don't drink when I'm sad, and I don't drink when I'm depressed. In an attempt to keep alcohol from becoming a coping mechanism for those things where I felt like I became dependent on it, I inadvertently turned it into a coping mechanism for something else. I began to drink alcohol to mask a pain that I was feeling. I returned home from one deployment with conflicting feelings, and I felt some type of way about things, and I didn't know how to express those feelings. I didn't know who I could talk to. Now, of course, the military offers all types of resources, which I was later able to take advantage of. But at the time, I had a sour taste with counseling, so it turned me off from it. So I used alcohol to mask my pain and mask what I was dealing with. I felt cheated out of some things, and I felt a bit incomplete and unfinished. So I drank to have fun. I came home. I had been gone for some time. I drank to have fun. I drank to celebrate. My second deployment was the same thing. I had been gone for a while, and deep down inside, I felt out of place. I felt like I was in a bubble, and everybody else's life was going on. I watched the world change around me while I was in one place. Now, granted, I love what I do. I enjoy the experience. I wouldn't take it back, and I wouldn't change it for the world. But returning home, I really struggled with some things. So to mask how I was really feeling and to cover that up, I began to drink. Probably more often than I should have. 2-3 times a week, maybe 4, I'm at the bar. 2 of those 4 times, I could go to 3 different bars in one night and have maybe 2 to 3 drinks at each bar. And this is not including Friday, Saturday, where I'm going out on the weekends regardless to drink and have fun. Maybe a part of me was trying to catch up, and maybe a part of me I was hiding. I was hiding behind the drinks because, again, I felt so out of place that I realized if I was having fun, if I was having a good time, then my mind was somewhere else. I wasn't thinking about how I felt. I wasn't trapped or held hostage by my own feelings. So I began to drink often, and I began to drink a lot. It began to come to a head when people started making comments towards me in the form of a joke, which I can take a joke. I don't take anything personal, but it really began to kind of pick at me when I heard it more than once from multiple people. When I went to visit someone and they would say, "Damn, you're not drunk?" No, why would I be drunk? What makes you think I'm drunk? You like to drink, you like to have a good time. So yeah, I do like to have a good time. I like to party. I'm not gonna hide that. It's just every time I see you, you normally drunk, or you normally got a drink in your hand. Okay, I get it. Other people would say, "Yo, you good? You might need to slow down." Slow down for what? You slow down. I don't have nothing to do. You got something to do. I'm out here living. I'm good. What am I slowing down for? And I began to feel like once is a joke, twice may be another joke. By the third time, this is how you really see me. You really low-key think I drink too much, but you don't want to say anything to me because you're not sure how I will receive it and you don't want to offend me. So you try to slide it in with quips or quick humor because I won't get offended and it doesn't really bother me. But I then began to see that if this is how people see me, do I want people to see me as a drunk? I want to be known for a lot of things, and I want to work to do some amazing things, but struggling with alcohol isn't one of them. I don't want people to see me and think, "Oh, here comes this guy again. He's going to drink and get out of control," in which I don't get out of control now. Of course, I have those drunk stories that people have where they drink too much and they black out or they throw up. I've been through all those things. I'm kind of past them now because I'm a little bit older and I now know what I can and can't drink. But it began to take a toll on me. And then I recently had an incident where I realized I needed to stop. I was leaving the bar, and a bar I frequent quite often. I make this turn 1,000 times, but this particular time, I was making a left turn. I cut the turn too close and ran over the end of a median. So I'm continuing to go on, and I come to a red light. Zoom past the red light. I get to another red light, and I say, "Oh, I'm in this area all the time. Nobody's here." I run through this red light again. In the process of this, not far after running after the red light, I realized I had a flat tire. It's raining at this point, so I recognized the sound of having a flat tire, and I have to pull over. Now, what really began to bother me was I had two people in the car with me, one of which who was very sober and offered to drive. And I said, "Nah, man, I'm good. I do this all the time." Like I said, I was going out drinking 3-4 nights a week, so I'm good. Of course I can drive in this state. I had a flat tire. I had two people with me. It's raining. I'm frustrated, and I can't change the tire. I've changed a bunch of flat tires. I could change a flat tire in my sleep, but because I'm drunk, I can't focus, and I have two people with me, so all I'm thinking about is getting them home safely. I can't change the tire, and it began to really frustrate me. I had to call a friend of mine. My friend was able to pick me up. He took me to my car the next day. I had to call roadside assistance. Roadside assistance changed my tire. I was able to drive home on a donut. I drove around on a donut for a couple days before I was able to get a new tire, which was an expense I didn't want to put out for. So it was a long weekend. This happened on a Friday, but that Saturday I really had to put some things into perspective. One, I had a sober person who noticed that I was drunk offer to drive. The fact that I said, "No, I'm good, I can do this," was a bit of a problem because there was no thought in my mind that made me second guess driving. My confidence had bred a level of arrogance that could have become dangerous. Confidence can breed arrogance, so please watch out. I ran 2 red lights. What if I had ran that red light and got into an accident? That's not fair to those people. They trusted me with their safety. So it's not right to them to put them in harm's way like that. Myself is something different because I can be accountable for me, but that's not fair to two people that I call friends. They don't deserve that. What if I had got pulled over and stopped by the police? That's a world of trouble that I do not need and I'm not prepared to deal with at this time. What if I would have gotten to an accident and not a serious accident, but one that caused real damage to my vehicle? I'm not prepared to deal with that at this moment. So that was my kind of reality check. Well, let me say this. That was the one where I really had to check myself and say, hey, I really need to put this thing into perspective. So that it was at that moment that I realized, hey, I need to check my drinking. I need to take a step back and think about what it is I'm really doing. So ever since that moment, I've taken a step back from it. I've legitimately, literally had to take it one day at a time. And if you're struggling with alcohol, let me say this. Reach out if you need the help. Again, and I'm going to do a series of videos on a couple of other things, but this one being alcohol. Reach out if you need the help. There are great and phenomenal resources for people if you really need help. AA is one of them. I'm located here in Baltimore, and I know of a local AA that meets on Garrison and Liberty Heights. That's great. It's comfortable. You don't have to share anything. It's normally a pretty large crowd, so you can go in there and listen. I used to go in there and just listen because I didn't really feel comfortable sharing my story. There are treatment programs. I know Right Turn is a great treatment program, again, here in Baltimore, who specializes in kind of alcohol counseling. And there are other resources in treatment centers if you need that sort of help. If you know you need professional help, again, look up local AA meetings and look up local treatment centers around you. If you're a person who doesn't feel comfortable getting that professional help, reach out to your inner circle of friends. And if they're really your friends, they'll hold you accountable. They'll pull you back and say, hey, I know we talked about this. If you're serious about not drinking, I'm here to help you. You know, if you got to say to your friends, hey guys, seriously, I'm going to stop drinking. I'm taking a step back from this it's getting out of hand, but I know I struggle with this. Do you guys mind helping me out? Yes. Sure, I'll help you out. If I know you taking a drink, no, don't take that. If somebody offering you a drink or they're pestering you to drink, I'll take the drink. You know, and it can be a group effort amongst your friends if you need that kind of help. But what all I'm really saying is, and what I'm really trying to convey in this video is, if it's something you're struggling with, you don't have to be ashamed of it, and you don't have to fight that fight by yourself. Oftentimes, people think when they're going through things that they have to fight the good fight by themselves, and they're too prideful to ask for help. When there are people and resources around you that are so willing to help you, you just have to reach out. You just have to open your mouth and be willing to accept that help. So again, if you need help, if you feel like AA works for you, try one meeting. Go once a week. For me, I know that I've been to AA before, so I do go maybe once a week, or I'm gonna try to go once a week just to get on a healthy track. I've been to a treatment center before, but also I use my friends as my accountability partners because I have a strong circle. And I also take it one day at a time. So instead of trying to give myself this lofty goal of, oh, I'm never drinking again, or I'm going to take some time, I literally have to take it one day at a time. How am I feeling today? Am I feeling comfortable enough to drink? Yes, I am. I need to say to somebody, hey, I'm only going to have 2 drinks. If you see me with these 2 drinks, that's fine. Let me order these 2 drinks and then take my bank card for me so I don't order any more drinks. But that's me. Find what works for you. You don't have to be alone. You don't